Vanakkam. Hi, truth lovers. Welcome to SIP South Indian Perspective, putting the voice of South Indians first. Today's topic of discussion is a continuation of the previous topic. It's nothing but the biggest scam in corporate history involving Adani and findings by Heisenberg. So today, in the topic of discussion, we're going to see five basic subcategories on which you want to check. One is basic findings of Heisenberg, then fraudulent concepts that were used, then simple explanation on how the fraud was perpetuated, third, social, political, and economical impact, and what remedies that need to be taken so as to fix this. In the Heisenberg's finding report, I'm going to take in the key points and I'm going to give you in detail so that what was done. So let's go one by one. So what are the crimes that was committed or financial frauds that been committed as per Heisenberg's report and findings? Adani's fraudulent schemes involve creating false account to manipulate market price and siphon money from unsuspecting investors. And Heisenberg uncovered an elaborate network of offshore money laundering operations that route funds to Adani's personal account. Adani used shell companies to disguise the ultimate beneficiaries of his financial frauds. Heisenberg identified numerous instances of insider trading which Adani used to manipulate stock price and profits. Heisenberg allegates that Adani and his associates bribed government officials to turn a blind eye to their activities. Adani also ran a number of pyramid schemes to defraud investors of their hard-earned money. Heisenberg traced the funds to number of dubious investments in high-risk sectors. Heisenberg uncovered evidence of money laundering through shell companies in multiple countries, which are considered safe haven for these activities. Adani and his associates used false identities to evade authorities and maintain their autonomy. And Heisenberg's finding revealed a pattern of corruption, fraud, and greed at the highest level as far as this Adani group is concerned. Their activities are described so. So now let us get into the fraudulent concepts that we used to do this. Heisenberg says there are three basic concepts that's been used. One is stock parking, stock ringing, undervoicing, and overvoicing, overinvoicing. Sorry. Let us get into the concept one by one. First one, let us give you what stock manipulation is all about. Stock manipulation is a fraudulent activity in which individuals or organizations artificially inflate or deflate the price of a stock through a deceptive or illegal means. This can be include practice such as spreading false information, inside trading, creating artificial buying or selling pressure, coordinating with others to manipulate stock price, stock manipulation, undermining the integrity of the financial market, and can harm the innocent investors who rely on fair and transparent price to make this information informed investment decision. The consequence of this stock manipulation can include fine, imprisonment, damage to one's reputation. Regularities around the world take a note of this typical activity very seriously, and all this has been done swiftly from Adani Group. So now let's get into one by one concept. First one, what is stock parking? So stock parking is a practice in which an investor temporarily holds shares of a stock in different accounts, usually in name of trusted third-party entities, to conceal the true ownership of the stock. In this case, Adani's family members' account. So this practice is often used to evade securities irregularities such as inside trading laws to avoid attract attention of the particular stock. It is illegal in India as per jurisdictions and considered unethical as it undermines the transparency and fairness of this market. So this is one of the method followed by Adani and his group. Second thing that they've done is stock ringing. Stock ringing is a form of market manipulation in which individuals or organizations artificially inflate or deflate the price of a stock through deceptive or fraudulent means. This can include practice such as spreading false information, artificially creating buying or selling pressure, and coordinate with others to manipulate stock prices. Stock ringing is illegal all over the world, even in India. It includes fine and imprisonment for those caught engaged in it. Undermining the integrity of the financial market harms innocent investors, both retail as well as individuals. Now let me give you a few examples so that you can understand what he has done. What he has done, as far as a limited company, 25% of the stock should be given to private. What Adani did in his family members' company, when a share is released, they used to buy in an invest in a shell company. In this way, you have more than 70% of the shares under Adani. So this creates a ripple effect in which it artificially shows there's a more demand for the stocks and the stock value tend to increase in this way. And this is the first fraudulent activity they have done. And the second is that giving a lot of misinformation with the support of some government officials before even a new organization establishment is getting established. A lot of advertisements and a lot of mood is kept so that he's buying so many of government organizations like airport, and this gives a positive image. So this even tricks the investors to invest in him as it shows it's one of the fast growing company. So these two concepts were used to manipulate the stockholders or stock buyers and get into Adani stocks, which is illegal. So the third most common concept that was used for Adani manipulation is undervoicing and over. Let's go one by one. Under invoicing. So under invoicing refers to a practice of deliberately reporting a lower value for a good being traded between countries than their original actual value. In order to pay low custom duties and other taxes, this practice is illegal and unethical all around the world as it allows companies to evade paying fair taxes which can negatively impact the nation economy, both the importing country as well as the exporting country. Additionally, under invoicing can also create uneven playing field for business as companies that engage in this practice have a competitive advantages over its competitors and the correct value for those companies which give a correct value of the good. To maintain transparency and fairness of international trade, it is important to companies to oblige by the fairness rule. Let us discuss with a small example. Say you have a phone worth 1,000 rupees and you bill it for 500 rupees. The trade is between say India and USA. So actually the product, if the original product was 1,000 rupees, so you're supposed to pay 100 rupees tax in Indian port, another 100 rupees tax in American port. So the cost price of that product is 1,200 rupees. And when you sell product for 1,500 rupees in US, you make a profit of 300 rupees. So this is the correct billing procedure. So what underbilling they does it? 1,000 rupees product will be billed for 500 rupees. So in Indian port you pay say tax instead of 100 you pay just 50 rupees tax. In American port instead of 100 rupees you pay a tax of 50 rupees. So the total tax that you paid in the correct procedure is 200, but here is only 100. And the cost of the product if you see is 600. But what do you do? When you sell the product, you sell it for 1,500. But The original cost is 1,000 rupees and you sell it by 1,500. But earlier you made a profit of 300. Now you make a profit of 400 as you evaded the tax of 100 rupees. So the correct billing you make a profit of 300. By under invoicing you make a profit of 100 plus. So this is used for manipulation, and this money 100 rupees goes into other investment and other stock manipulation was committed. And the next was over invoicing. Over invoicing refers to a practice in which an artificially inflating the value of a commercial invoice, typically in international trade, with the intention of misappropriating funds or hiding illegal activities such as money laundering and tax evasion. The excess funds are transferred to seller or third party over a period of time, and overpriced goods are sold in the market. This gives a financial loss to the buyer and potential violation of laws and regulations. So, for example, the cost of the product is say 1,000 rupees. So you bill it for 500 rupees. Sorry, the cost of the product is say 500 rupees. You bill it for 1,000 rupees, and you get 500. So you inflate the product and you sell by 500 more, and this excess money is used for money laundering, etc. This way illegal money comes in, which is used for manipulation in India as well as abroad. This is also illegal. So these are the technical terms that was used or technical ways in which share value was manipulated, and Adani has made huge money out of it. And let us see in a simple example or layman language what has happened. Overall fraud. Okay. So this is the set of frauds that was committed to do a overall fraud. So for example, there is an asset worth 1,000 rupees. For example, you have a building that cost you 1,000 rupees. For the 1,000 rupees, you can get a loan for only 500 from a bank. So what you do, you under invoice, over invoice, do this stock manipulation, and you convert that value of that building into a stock. So what you're supposed to do, 1,000 rupees building, you can issue a stock for 1,000 rupee shares. So by this share manipulation, this 1,000 rupees worth share is made into 10,000. This is an inflated value. So what you do, you show the share to the bank and you get a loan. For 1,000 rupees, you get a loan of 500, but for 10,000 rupees inflated share value, you get a loan of 5,000. So this is what has happened. So imagine now what happens. So tomorrow you see you're not able to pay the loan. What bank does? They come for a recovery. But when you come for a recovery, the value of the shares that you have is only 1,000 rupees, but you got a loan for 5,000. So 4,000 rupees bank will have a loss. This will have a huge impact on the financial sector of the entire nation. That's what happening here. So immediate what happens if you see bank cannot recover the loan, so it becomes a dead asset. So it becomes a non-payable asset. And individual or group who invested in the stocks, they get fooled and they face losses. And most important thing, the stock exchange credibility comes into a big question and it goes for a toss. Now let us see the social, political, economic impact of this. Immediate impact on common man. You see, individual investors, retail investor will get affected because they would have bought shares and the share value collapse, so the asset gets collapsed and they are making huge losses. Loan given by SBI, Punjab National Bank, and other government banks, it amounts a huge crores, 40,000 plus crores, and even private banks is also lended money. I'm not sure on how much they have lended. So approximation they say it comes to around of 1 lakh crore. So 1 lakh worth of financial gets eroded because of this. LIC, one of the most trusted organization in India, and even the commonest of common man has an account on LIC. LIC has invested almost 40,000 crores on this Adani shares. I'm not sure they even plan to invest 300 crore more on this sinking ship. This shows a great pressure that LIC faced to do this. And most important thing, loss of trust in SEBI, RBI, and Indian stock market. This will have a huge impact on foreign investors. If the foreign investors pull the investment, this will lead to huge and sudden impact of huge loss of jobs. Infrastructure project will come into standstill, and many companies will collapse and they will have losses. So now let us see what are the possible remedies that can be taken. Yes, the crime has been perpetuated and it has impacted every Indian alike, if not alike, at least in different ways. So now, even a robust democracy, crimes do happen of this size and scale. But what happens after that is what we can do. Remedies you can take is have a joint parliamentary committee to do an investigation on this. SBI, LIC, and top management should be completely checked out, and an investigation probe should be started on them and how did they do this lending. And special task force for financial fraud investigation team should be formed, both with Indian and global experts. Audit the auditors and re-audit them. So this scale of fraud cannot be done without the auditors. So those people, individual, their financial states, everything, the entire trail should be tracked. So audit the auditors and re-audit them. SEBI to be investigated thoroughly. If the level of their involvement is beyond 50%, it's better to dissolve SEBI and form a new organization with new rules and regulation. Foreign threat to be analyzed. So in today's world, you don't go war with weapons; they go war with finance. So this has to be analyzed thoroughly by raw research analyst wing and other financial fraud checking agencies should be pulled in here. And confident building measures has to be taken back, and special team has to be formed to build confident building mechanism should be formed to protect the nation. And most important thing, what is immediately needed is protecting the investment of the common man to be assured. And most important thing, please do not raise any GST because of this. We're already impacted. So this need to be done. Common man should be given confidence from the government, finance ministry, and the people in charge, and they should assure them they won't be impacted. And all this information has been taken in reference from three major articles. Adani lost of 100 billion in a wake of Heisenberg from CNIBN, that is www.cnibn.com. And second reference is fortune.com. Adani Group loses half of the market value in 10 days. And third reference is the hindu.com business, how much the Adani Group has lost since Heisenberg report. So this is the reference from which the information has been taken from for both part 1 and part 2. For more information, refer those articles. And this is the end of this video. Thank you, truth lovers. Do support this channel by hitting on like button, click on subscribe button. This is Maran signing off. Vanakkam.